folks, welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. I'm your host, Mo Amir. We will be back next week right here on Check, and if you want more, find This is VANCOLOUR on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or the Check Plus app. Thank you to Dr. Rita McCracken and political commentator David Moscrop for tonight's show. But before we call it a night, let's take a moment. Last week in Buffalo, New York, a white supremacist terrorist killed 10 people and injured 3 others in a mass shooting targeting African Americans. While many Canadians rightfully felt shock, disgust, and grief, some of us resorted to our ghoulish national pastime of pretending that we're immune from such evil, while rejoicing at how much better we are as a country. At least, that's what former Liberal MP Catherine McKenna did when she tweeted how, upon reading the news, she felt fortunate to live in Canada. After all, what happened in Buffalo never happens here, except for the 2017 mosque shooting in Quebec City, and the Toronto van attack in 2018, and the 2020 Nova Scotia attacks, and the 2021 truck attack in London, Ontario. All things that happened while Catherine McKenna was a cabinet minister in the Trudeau government. But why express empathy when you can run a victory lap of Canadian exceptionalism, right? We're number one at putting our heads in the sand to totally ignore Canada's ongoing history of colonial violence. Prominent Canadian alt-right figures who peddle hate like the Great Replacement theory, which motivated the Buffalo shooter, and Canada's spike of hate crimes, including murder. In fact, last year, after the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol building, the phrase, "as a Canadian," trended on Twitter as Canadians pontificated over what was happening in Washington, D.C. How could an unruly mob overrun the capital city of a robust Western democracy? That could never happen in Canada. Now, don't get me wrong. Personally, I'm grateful to live here. That's my immigrant experience. But I'm also exhausted by our country's toxic positivity and masturbatory smugness, especially from our political leaders whose feckless sense of duty is limited to dunking on political opponents and assuring the rest of us that everything is peachy, when clearly it isn't. Folks, that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. This is VANCOLOUR, and I'm Mo Amir telling you that in a province where you can be anything, be colorful. Peace.